What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
Sick car. Tell me about it.
It's a DE 350Z.
Wait, what's your name? Sorry, I haven't met you. What's up, man?
What's up?
It's a DE, you said?
Yep. It's an 03.
Sick.
It's got the engine in it's a little bit newer. It blew up like a long time ago. Somebody put a new one in it. It's got like 30,000 miles. It's got WiseFab, Fortunato coilovers, inline hydro, cage.
Sick.
That's about it.
So, would you consider this like a budget build? If you're trying to compete in like street legal?
If you want to get into drifting as cheap as you can, buy this car and then don't do the WiseFab.
Don't do the WiseFab.
Just do like a cut.
Like a GK. Well, GK Tech came out with
a good kit. Yeah.
Pretty cheap and lots of angle.
This is like a budget build plus one. Does that make sense?
Sick, man.
Well, yeah, it's a Texas street legal car. It does very, very well in like that kind of competition.
So would you recommend get like a 350Z or get like another platform like a Corvette or
so I don't know. I would say if it's your first drift car, okay, so like my first drift car was a E30 BMW. If you don't know what that is, it's like a 3 Series from like the 80s. And it had the engine out of an E36 M3. So it made some good power. It ended up having like good coilovers, WiseFab on it too, cage hydro. So that car was garbage. Like it just broke all the time. Like every single event, you're working on it until the next event just to get to work for that. This car, in between events, I've literally done things like get a new door handle, do a window motor. You do like oil changes and that's it. You put gas in the car and you're good to go.
So this would definitely be like the go-to first drift car.
Yeah, I mean like if you got like a C6, C5 Corvette, you'd make better power. They're more expensive to get into and tires are more expensive.
I mean, yeah, you can find these cars like with wheels and coilovers already for like 4 grand.
All day.
Yeah.
If you got a Corvette, I mean, it's going to be like dead reliable, just like this would be, but you're going to go through more tires.
Cool. So how you been doing in street legal? I see the banner.
So round 1 was that was like my potato moment, I guess.
Okay.
And I won round 2. Round 3 is coming up pretty soon. So it's been doing really good.
Cool. And you can like keep up like just fine with all these other cars. I see all these like
I
crazy.
haven't driven with anybody I couldn't keep up with yet. And I mean, that's in Lone Star Drift where people got some crazy cars.
That's sick,
if
man.
If you just know how to drive it, it's plenty good.
How'd you learn how to drive?
Settle Corsa.
Shoot,
oh yeah,
man, that's what everyone.
Buy one of these. Buy a simulator.
God. Did you hear that? Like, stick to a simulator first until you can drive. Save the money. How much money do you think people will save on average if you were to get like a I don't know $1,500 rig?
All right, so let's say $1,500 simulator, right? So you go to drift events trying to learn without ever getting on a simulator. You spend $600 an event in tires because you spend on do anger burnouts, so you go through tires fast. So in 3 events, you'll spend more in tires than you would on a simulator, and you probably still won't be able to link a track.
I mean, I see people like go out there their first time and they'll take, I don't know, 6, 8 tires and they still can't get a drift down.
Before I even went to my first drift event, you too, actually, we probably had like what, 700-800 hours in a drift car? I know I did. I don't know if you had that.
Maybe, I don't know.
But I probably had 700 hours in a drift car and a simulator, and I went out, linked track first try. Our tandems in your first event were like...
That was sick.
Show them your door for your first ever drift event.
That's...
I don't know if you can really see that, but
a little messed up.
There's tire marks.
I'll link, I'll put a video, I'll put a...
This kid at his first drift event had me painting his door and was on my door all day long. We did probably 100 laps.
It also helps that it was raining.
Yeah,
that was tire. Yeah, we drove so much that it was fun. But sick, man. What are your future goals with this car?
Go to Japan, win Texas Street Legal.
Are you taking this to Japan?
Well, I mean, no.
No, okay. I was like,
but like I want to win Texas Street Legal and go to Japan. Then I mean, if it ever blows up, which it probably won't because it's 350Z. Maybe I'll make more power, but
that's crazy.
You just don't need it.
Awesome.
All right, so we talked about my car. Now we're gonna talk about your car. What's your name?
My name is Denny, and
this is Denny's 350Z. So my car's a DE. What is yours?
It's a rev up. So only difference is that it goes up like what 500 RPM.
Yeah, it's got a little bit higher red line. It makes a little bit more power. So your car with dyno to what was it, 290?
That's what they said, but It's,
I mean, we really don't
it's
know.
all the same.
I mean, we can't tell the difference between our cars and even the race. So,
it really does.
so what are like the differences between our cars? Like, what makes?
So
Makes them
besides
different.
cosmetics, as you can tell,
Yeah.
mine looks way better.
Denny's car's a bit of a missile. We'll be honest.
So I have a full PBM angle kit, which I have a few announcements to make after in a little bit. But full angle kit, these get around, what do you think, like 60,
Probably like
65, if that?
What do you think about this angle kit?
So
I've heard a lot of like mixed reviews about it.
I have, it's awesome. What it's meant for, it's awesome. I've heard that some parts on it, like later on with like abuse, obviously because drifting is like very, there's a lot of.
If anybody saw Taylor Ray's video, this arm right here likes to break. That's no bueno.
But my favorite thing about this car is that you can run the sway bar and the self steering. It's like no other. Like you on your Wisefab car, like if you just slightly move the steering wheel, it'll like go everywhere, and you have to kind of like help it lead the whatever.
Yeah.
that shit
So
is.
like, whenever you go to enter into a drift with PBM, it'll steer for you. With a car like mine's Wisefab, it doesn't like to do that. It's just kind of like a Wisefab thing, and like the lack of front sway bar with Wisefab that you can keep with PBM makes a huge difference in drift. It'll make your car way faster.
But
So like,
yeah.
what coilovers does it have?
So it has BC Racing coilovers, and that's probably one of the pet peeves of running PBM and BC Racing in the front. So as you can tell, if we were to side by side compare Wisefab, FDF Fab to PBM, the lower control arm actually has like a dent, like a lower point of attachment of the coilover, meaning that your car is gonna therefore sit lower from the front. So like for example, these are maxed out. Like the whole coilover is as high as it can go, and I'm still like only 2-3 inches off my car. I like to be higher because that forces me to run like 6 degrees of negative camber, which
you definitely
you can
benefit
tell,
from having a higher car in the front.
destroy the
Yeah, like
tires.
look at this camera wear. This isn't even after very many events.
I have one event on this set.
That's crazy.
So
What do you run like? Is it like 7 degrees?
it's like 6. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
I run like 3.5.
So other than that, like this car gets more than enough angle if you were to ask me.
Yeah, I mean
but
with the
obviously-
power these cars make, you don't need more than that.
For sure. But obviously Wisefab is,
But I mean like, I find myself at lock even with Wisefab all the time because I like to get rowdy.
and that obviously kind of might slow your car down also if you're trying to keep up. But this car is fully caged. Whoever did it did a very good job. I just
Very nice cage. A lot easier to get in and out of than my car. Just needs to be cleaned up. Should be good though.
so other than that, it just has rear arms, just so that I can keep it grippy. Because some people don't know, but like you actually want some grip in a drift car.
Yeah, wouldn't you say it's like the most common misconception about drifting? People think that like you want to make the car have no grip at all, when in reality, if you want a good drift car, you want as much as you can.
But obviously you gotta take in consideration, these are 350Z, so like if you're trying to tandem with a LS S14 like our buddy Zach Mitch for it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean
so
you
if
gotta have all the grip you
like
can.
3 degrees of positive camber and 2 degrees of toe. You don't want that. That's just
Yeah, Zach Mitchmore's a crazy man. He drives his cars with ridiculous setups, but that's besides the point. I mean, it did give him a Pro-Am championship, I guess, but
can't take this off. But other than that, this car is basically set up just like yours. It's just a stock.
oh
It's on
man,
car,
look
yeah.
at that.
Sick LS.
Okay,
bro.
now close the hood. That's too long. You don't open hoods on 350Zs.
Have you ever wondered what a trombone looks like? Oh god.
Oh, look at that. Brings me back to middle school band.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
But yeah, these cars are just thrashers, man. They're fun. Like, if you were to, for example, I bought an S14 not long ago, and I'm currently rebuilding the LS in it. But if that would have been my first drift car, I can't imagine how much money I'd be spending. Like,
Yeah, it's just the
is
biggest
it worth
difference
it?
is
That's my question.
if you get something like a 240, they're great drift cars, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, you're gonna spend so much more money just maintaining them because you know things are old. Shit happens.
Not just that, but like if you're going with like a big engine, big power, you're gonna
It's just tires.
get what 8 laps.
I think Zach said like on a good day he'd get 8 out of his old setup with his S14.
These cars you get what, like 20, 25, 30.
I've gotten over 30 sometimes, even in the dry.
Biggest difference.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be your first drift car. I don't like recommend someone get a 400 or 500 horsepower starter drift car. Because I mean, yeah, it's cool on the internet and stuff, but you're gonna get like 2 laps, and while all your friends are doing just hundreds of laps a day, and it's not really not gonna be that like fun.
All right, so you alluded to it earlier, but what are we doing to your car today?
So we are gonna be removing PBM because I just sold it. I have had a hard-on for a FDF fab.
Me too.
And there's nothing wrong with the kit. I drove with you and I noticed that you have a little bit more angle, and I really want to do backies, which I can do backies, but I think I just have a hard-on for the full fabrication.
Yeah.
So
all right,
we'll be taking that off.
Yeah, let's get to the install.
So, how simple is it to remove the angle kit real quick?
It's really easy. You just gotta unbolt the upper control arm, unbolt the brake line from the bracket, and the lower control arm attaches in 2 places. Attaches here and right over here. You can see that? And then you gotta unbolt the offset rack spacer, which is the things that everybody hates on 350Zs right here.
And why is that?
Because they like to tear out of the rack. So like this bolt right here, you might be able to see better on the other side. So this bolt right here likes to rip out of the rack, and then your rack is toast. The reason I have to do this is because it gets a tie rod angle where it's supposed to be for the move location for the angle kit.
So why do people run why do they come with an offset rack spacer? Explain that.
Okay, so how you get more angle out of an angle kit, dumbed down, is so the tie rod usually connects further out. Usually connects out here, but now it's moved in. So the tie rod used to go out straight over here where it used to be, but they had to offset it in, so now it connects where it does now. That makes sense. So basically it just lines up the tie rod at the angle it's supposed to be with the controller.
Cool.
Yeah, so they like to rip out of the rack though.
So I heard that the GK Tech, the new kit for their angle kit, all it is like it just moves out the point of attachment.
Yeah, it's a bolt-on piece that bolts into where the old tie rod location point is and goes in. So it just moves the tie rod pickup point. And it gives you an offset rack spacer, and you get like 60 degrees of angle.
So yeah, definitely if I was trying to do like a little budget,
that would quick
350Z, that'd be the way to do it.
But if you really wanted to be a cool kid, you'd just move your rack. So what you can actually do to get rid of this is actually move the steering rack forward so that it comes out where it is with the spacer without actually having the spacer.
Sick. All right, well, let's get to it.
Wow. So in our history of working on cars, when I really do something stupid, I jaked it. When he really does something stupid, he Denny's it. Well, he just Denny'd this whole video.
Yeah. So the last video that you would have seen like 10 seconds ago, we were explaining like how we were gonna do it and what was like the purpose of the offset rack spacer and
all that fun stuff.
So I pressed the record button, but I wasn't aware that I was taking pictures this whole time, and we're already like practically done removing all of this. Dude, fuck, man. All right.
There's one bolt that holds it in. You gotta unbolt the coilover. It's real simple. Then the only big thing that really had us confused in this whole process, we already had the other side off, was over here.
Let me scoot back.
It bolts into this right here. But in order to get this to slide off of this stud, you have to unbolt this entire brace.
So this entire brace, and it's all of this, all you have to do is remove this brace just to get this one rear bolt of the lower control arm.
Yeah, this guy right here slides onto that, like that.
So that slides right there, but you gotta remove that brace underneath to get that bolt off. Another thing, whenever you're removing the what's this thing called?
Offset rack spacer.
Offset rack spacer, you gotta be very careful. It's a 1 inch, and if you fucking strip that, you're done. Just
luckily we didn't strip it.
Yeah. Just be careful. Another annoying thing that which we are on right now, before I noticed that I was taking pictures, is the upper control arm. So there's not really a lot of space with the coilover.
And we're lazy, so we're not gonna take the coilover.
Yeah, we have to do it to the other side, and I said fuck that. So
I'm about to hit it with a hammer and hope for the best.
Hold up, let me hold on to this for a second.
When you're ready.
No, hold up. This bitch is gonna fall on me. Go for it. Ooh! Alright, hold the camera, because I'm literally
Can you curl it?
Dude, this bitch is like 60 pounds.
I'd be impressed if you could curl it.
I don't know. What are these things called?
Yeah. Those are Heim joints.
Compared to like the rubber ones. But yeah.
That's it.
This is a PVM angle kit.
And then we already got the other side off. And here's a completely angle kit outside of the car. We got that shit done. It was actually really easy. So like if you have a Z and you want to install an angle kit, just do it.
What do you think each side takes? Maybe like,
I don't know,
10, 15 minutes?
Honestly, to take that off probably took us half an hour. That was, yeah, that was really easy.
Sick. So, next time you'll see us installing the new
FTF kit.
fab.
And maybe if it doesn't get in time, maybe the next video you'll see will be a vlog of round 3 of Lone Star Drift. So I'll be driving that car in. Cool.